Of course, it's to be expected. The all-time high was 20 hours ago. The all-time low was also 20 hours ago. High was $2.16. The low was $1.15. And the current price right now is $1.39. The main net is live and it is in all of your feeds. It's like the highest searched cryptocurrency term in the last 24 hours. What is it? Why is it? And why is it that the all-time high and the all-time lows have both been in the last 24 hours? In this video, I'm going to look at the cryptocurrency SUI, the platform SUI. I'm going to show you my first impressions of SUI. I'm going to look at the website, the white paper, if I can find it, and talk about it and see what I think about maybe to jump in or not to jump in. This is a website, SUI. I like the color scheme. I like the blue sort of water thing. Apparently, SUI has something to do with water in Japanese or something like that. I'm not really sure, but that would explain sort of like the water fluid theme. So my overall impression of the website, it's very clean, very basic. I like simplicity, so this is my cup of tea, but it does have an amateurish feel to it, I have to say. They're present on multiple social medias, Twitter, Discord, YouTube, and what is this? LinkedIn. But it does seem like a really fresh, rudimentary, basic WordPress theme, so that's not terribly encouraging. It shows that they haven't spent that much money on their website, but that may also be a good thing. Maybe they're focusing more on performance and speed. Anyways, let's get started. Okay, there's a lot of information. I like that. Let's look at this one. Read the docs. Okay, so they've got a dedicated documentary repository. That's always good. All right, let's see if we can find a white paper. That's usually on CoinGecko. White paper. All right, so the white paper is on GitHub. All right, I'm gonna read that and come back. Right, so what I got from this is that it's actually basically another sort of Ethereum competitor. So it is a layer 1 blockchain that allows transactions and building of your own assets, creating your own smart contracts, allowing for layer 2 platforms to develop on top of it. But its main thing is scalability and speed. So basically it's another Ethereum competitor, another blockchain, another layer 1 blockchain that tries to resolve the problems of Ethereum, which is to do with scalability and speed. And look, it says innovative decentralized layer 1 blockchain that redefines asset ownership. And also from some of the stuff that I've read, they don't try to do the existing stuff in a more efficient way like you'd have with Polygon or with Solana. What they're doing is they're looking at it from a completely different angle. So they're employing completely different technology to achieve the same thing, and that's where they hope to achieve their scalability and speed. Infinite scalability, infinite possibilities. Demand spikes, fees don't. That's another thing. They're trying to keep the fees as low as possible. Right now in Ethereum, when the demand is higher, the fees are higher, so they're sidestepping all that sort of stuff fast enough for any application. Again, like I said, they're looking at it from a different angle and trying to solve existing problems with different technology. Dynamic assets you actually own. So the idea of that is that your assets that you build on top of SUI are yours and not living in a smart contract that belongs to SUI. That makes sense. So from all I gather, this blockchain is actually geared towards engineers. It's not really a user thing. So the users of this platform would be developers and engineers and really technical people. The white paper is very technical. A lot of the instructions are super technical. Look at that. Like if you click on the introduction, even this is like a GitHub sort of super techie thing. So if you're not a developer and you're not used to GitHub, that's just going to look like gibberish to you. You know, you can set up an environment, run a node. These are all engineering related stuff. This isn't like a game or sort of social media like other tokens that we're used to. But you know, it is what it is. It's a layer 1 that is geared towards other projects. So other projects are supposed to sit on top of this project. That's the whole point. It's an infrastructure layer blockchain. But you know, the documentation is really good, which is to be expected for a platform that's geared towards engineers, which is why I can imagine they didn't put that much effort into the design of the website itself, because it's not really soft facing. It's not client facing in the same way, say, Polygon is, because that's also appealing to people trying to do NFTs, buy NFTs. Doesn't have a client facing and that is as beautiful as Web3 platforms that try to draw non-technical people in. It's like Chiliz or Socios and those kind of coins. And let's look at the price. Of course, it's to be expected. The all-time high was 20 hours ago. The all-time low was also 20 hours ago. High was $2.16. The low was $1.15. And the current price right now is $1.39. So it's a good range. And that's what usually happens when a coin is new and it's just newly released. You get this massive dump because all of the people that got tokens, well, not all, a lot of the people that got tokens from scratch, dump them immediately and then buy back in if they want to. So I don't actually know if they had an ICO or anything like that, but people who are developers, members of staff, even venture capitalists in some cases usually get coins allocated to them, distributed to them somehow. Maybe they bought the coins at a certain price that wasn't available to the public, and the first thing a lot of them do is dump because they know this is going to happen. So this is why it's advisable never to go in the first few hours of a coin's launch unless you're already part of the launching and you already have tokens. Let it do its thing and let it settle down. And eventually this is going to settle down to a kind of plateau price. Then you have some time to see what the blockchain is all about, see what it's doing, see who's interested, see what the volume is like, see what the market cap ramps up to. Then you can decide to go in or not. So at this point, I'm going to be sitting this one out because, again, it's not really my cup of tea. I'm not a developer. I'm not an engineer. L1s usually do quite well over a longer period of time. They're not very sexy. They're not very sort of active. Look at Cardano. Look at Link. So the people who are going to be interested in this stuff are the same sort of people that would be interested in a coin like Link, which is very, very stable, very predictable, sort of grinds up slowly over time, doesn't take massive dumps. Of course, we can't compare this to Link because Link is massive and a lot of projects depend on Link, which adds to the stability, but it's early days yet. Anything else? Let's have a look at this. All right, so that's the white paper. I like that you can download the white paper and read. But again, white paper already has code in it. As you can see, it's highly technical. So no, it's a great white paper. If you're a developer, you understand what prime type, structure type, model X, blah, 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 and all that stuff means. I'm relatively technical, but even I don't understand any of this. Apparently, there's also a new programming language called SUI something, and that you have to learn that, create an environment. But I can imagine it's not that difficult if you're already into blockchain programming. I also saw somewhere that the transactions are supposed to be really, really fast, are a little bit slow at the moment. And I saw it on Cryptosaurus's last stream that the current transactions are running even slower than Ethereum at the moment. So that's not a good sign, especially if this is the beginning and there's not that much stuff happening on the blockchain yet. It should be blazing fast. It should be the fastest blockchain in the world at the moment because there's not that much happening, right? We never know. We'll give them a few more days if I were you and see how things cool off a little bit before jumping in. That's my verdict. I'll see you in the next video.